So let's talk about the purpose of the house and how it affects lending.
Yep.
So you have owner occupied, which is you're using the house as your primary residence.
Sure.
And then you have a second home. Maybe you have a vacation rental. Maybe you have a vacation home that you're not renting out. Explain the nuances of the mortgage program based upon the purpose of the house.
Owner occupied is pretty self-descriptive. It's the home that you live in the majority of the time. It's your primary residence. Then there's another option called a second home, which I think a lot of people don't know about. It's a home, typically it's in like a resort area, like maybe Bend or the Oregon coast or something like that, a vacation area. You can't have a second home on the other side of town because it doesn't make any sense. But let's say you love vacationing in Phoenix, so in the gloomy months here. So the second home requires a 10% down payment. The interest rate's a bit higher. Lending is all based on risk. And the thinking is if somebody came on hard times, they're going to make sure they make the payment on their primary residence over their second home. But if it's a place that you can go just to relax and get away, maybe gather the family, then you would not want to call that like an Airbnb or we're only there 2 weeks a year and we're renting out the rest of the time. That's not the purpose of a second home. That would be more a non-owner occupied or a rental property. And those require a minimum 20% down payment. And again, the interest rate on those are higher than a primary residence because of risk. So I had a pretty well-to-do gentleman who had a single-family home in Texas. That was his primary residence where he made his living, and had his daughter and grandkids in a suburb of Portland. And, you can't necessarily say that Portland is a resort or a getaway location necessarily, but because the distance was far enough and he was planning to only use it for when he came to frequently come visit his daughter and grandkids, then he was able to get second home financing on that and put 10% down instead of 20.